What is up, Friday Nighters? Welcome back to another episode of Just Another Friday Night. I am one of your two hosts, CM Chuck. Alongside me, as always, the unbreakable Adamantium Adam.
Hey guys,
Double A.
how's it going? Another good Friday evening.
Guys, check us out. We got our initials down there. We just put the two A's and the CM so you can kind of figure it out with us, hopefully, Double A and CM. Hey, but I can't do this now. Check this out, Double A.
Oh,
Boom, right there. That's where we're at on Instagram, on Twitter, on
Facebook, YouTube, TikTok.
I think our Facebook is actually facebook.com/justanotherfriday. I don't know. Maybe. Could be wrong. Guys, if you caught me last night fooling around in multiple tests, it was a real
caught you last night?
Yeah. It was a real fiasco. A highlight. Thanks for joining us. It was a real fiasco, but we got it going in the end of the night, and I kind of did a reveal then, but I'm going to not reveal that yet. I'll reveal it right now because if you saw last night, you know, but if you didn't, then you don't know. But cheers, Steve. What up, brother? Appreciate that pick today of the cooler, man, with the stickers on there.
Very cool.
And
super cool.
Great segue. And there's a way for me to bring up pictures using this new thing we're using. I know you guys see up there, powered by StreamYard. So when I learn how to do that, I'll bring that picture in. But in the meantime, guys, tonight we have a very special guest. If you were listening to us around the November time, you know that we went and we didn't really go. We were here at the pod studio, the pod lab, but we did a Zoom meeting interview with the DorkDad Podcast. The DorkDad Lucky had us on his show and interviewed us and brought us on there. And it was a great talk, man. It was really cool, really fun and exciting. And we said, we got to do this again. We got to have you on our show. Well, tonight is that night. So tonight we're going to bring in Lucky from the DorkDad Podcast. Let's see if he's here with us. What up, Lucky?
What's up, Friday Nighters? That's
right. The Friday Nighters, right. The Friday night
right. Creatures of the Friday night.
The creatures of the Friday night, my man. Hey, we appreciate you being here, man. Working with our scheduling conflicts and everything like that, man. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I'm good. You know, it's Friday, just another Friday night, and yeah, I'm good to go, man.
Good deal. Lucky, I just threw up your at DorkDad Podcast. I believe that's you on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok.
Yes.
Okay.
And there's also DorkDadPodcast.com, awesome. which goes to the direct link to my show on Spotify. So
nice. Oh, kick Very ass, nice. Man, kick ass. We also are Spotify alums, so we're with you there. Let me hop back over to the comments here. I'm going to leave up your at for a minute there. Lucky, anybody that wants to
just leave it
take a look, we can leave it up. But at DorkDad Podcast is who we are talking to, the DorkDad himself, Lucky. And Lucky, that's a nickname, right, Lucky?
No, it's my middle name.
That is your true middle name.
It's my true middle name.
Very cool.
I've just always gone by that. I don't
know.
know.
I've heard you in interviews correcting people. They call you by your first name. You're like that. It's Lucky.
Yeah. People are like, Joseph. Joseph, who's that?
I get you, man. It's like the same thing, right? Like my high school buddies call me Charles, and then I've got my my family calls me Charlie, and then it's my college friends call me Chuck, and then it's like four different. And now I'm CM Chuck, so
everybody's got nicknames, especially Hispanic families.
Yeah,
Gordo, Pelon, whatever.
Lucky. Normally, Double A has the greatest beard in the studio here on the show, but you bring in a pretty rockin' beard, man. It's so rockin'. You have to. It's a part of your logo. You're not ever allowed to shave now, right?
My wife wants me to shave, but I can't.
You've got stickers made, man. Your stickers have it. I won't show it, but it's on our cooler over here.
Sometimes I'll have the full beard, but then I'll cut it just to go to. Yeah.
Cool, man. Cool. Well, Lucky, what we like to do in the beginning is we like to give a few minutes here to the Friday Night Faithful and let them they join us on the live, they chat in and say hello. We just like to greet them and give them a shout out and say what's up to them. And if they have any questions or comments, things they want to talk about, we let this kind of be their time to do that.
Sure thing.
So, let's see. We got Steve here, Roxanne.
Yeah, CM, real quick. Last week's episode, we were talking about the best of 2020.
Right, yeah.
And I caught up with for your recommendation, I caught up with the Queen's Gambit.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And if you notice the beer of choice that she was drinking, I was like, oh, okay, well, shit, I'm gonna have that for this Friday night.
Very
It's a
nice.
beer I used to drink a long time ago before I switched to Dos Equis. So, cheers.
Yeah, there you
From
go.
Pabst Blue
Blue
Ribbon.
The old Pabst. I may have to join you in one of those.
That is a.
Did you
that
catch
is
the
a
Queen's
gr-
Gambit?
That's a great show, by the way.
Oh
Yeah, it
man,
I was trying to
I was
get my
super
wife. I was trying to get my wife to watch it with me because I didn't want to feel like a dork watching the show about chess. But yeah, we watched the first episode and we were hooked. We were like, this is a pretty awesome show.
do you play? You play chess?
I know how the pieces move,
That's a question.
and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I've learned several times, and I was playing on the phone for a while. Aaron B. of formerly of Best Burger, formerly of the Big Bite, formerly of the Boozecast.
Formerly.
He likes to play, and he had told me to learn how to play so that I could play with him online. But online, it's pretty easy; it doesn't let you mess up. But my girlfriend's dad's is a player too. He plays chess. I've never played against him because I tend to forget my moves, so I've got to always refresh my memory. But obviously, a timeless game. You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah. Well, here's to Elizabeth Harmon and Anya Taylor Joy from the Queen's
water
Gambit.
here.
All good, man. All good. Hey, however you choose to hydrate is your turn. No peer pressure here
No,
at Just Another Friday Night.
never.
Steve Roxanne says Pabst Blue Ribbon, Dennis Hopper,
Yeah.
Blue Velvet.
Blue Velvet. Yeah.
Says this. Let's see. Steve, I want to let you know I shared your picture with Lucky of his sticker being on your cooler. So very cool moment there. Lucky, so what's up, man? You showed us some cool toys before we went on live. Feel free to show those again if you want. Talk about them a little bit here with our
Yeah, you want to see those? Just
Yeah,
got this
those were
in
definitely
today.
cool, man.
So we're on
Yeah,
the cusp of the popularity of Cobra Kai. Everybody loves that show.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
So I got
great
these
show.
in. These are made by Icon Heroes. There's Daniel LaRusso at the back. And
That's great looking, man.
pretty cool. I got Daniel and I got a Johnny Lawrence. So
And this is, the Karate Kid them.
Yeah.
It's not the Cobra Kai them. So that's really cool.
it would be cool to
And
get
they're-
older versions. But
And their geese. Oh, I'm sure that's coming. You
Yeah.
got to release them in
Yeah.
waves, right?
Yeah.
I'll probably do a video of me opening these up and checking them out.
Oh, okay.
So
Sweet.
look
Yeah,
forward
man.
to that. Exclusive. Look forward to that.
Hey,
For
Lucky,
sure.
I saw on one of your Instagram postings that you got your Spawn issue 1 graded.
Yes.
When
Actually
did you?
Actually won that in a raffle.
Oh wow, really? Holy shit!
Those
No kidding.
secret Facebook groups where they do raffles. But,
Damn, nice.
yeah, so I think I probably put in $30 and I won that. So
Man,
Nice, man. What a win.
Yeah.
What a
Yeah.
win.
yeah, I was lucky.
I don't know if I answered you, Steve, but Pabst Blue Ribbon is what we were drinking. And then Aaron says, "What up, y'all?" Aaron,
What up,
man?
Aaron? Aaron B.
Aaron, guys, if you don't know, so Lucky had Aaron B on when he was doing the burger show and he was going around eating all the food or whatever. But you guys have known each other for a while, right, Lucky?
Yes, we work at the same place.
Right.
And our positions had us do some interaction a couple times, and I found out he had a podcast, and way back in the day,
Way back in the day.
and I started listening to it, and that was kind of my introduction to podcasts, actually listening to the podcast.
Right.
So, and I got a kick out of it. Here's you were on there sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's just a group of guys, just BSing and just having a good time, and it was a good show.
Yeah, it was definitely a blast, man. So some people don't know that years ago there was a podcast called The Boozecast. It was created by my friend and all of our friend Aaron, and his good friend Steven. And Steven's a great guy too, man. They started a show with the premise being the kind of talk you hear after the bar. That was the premise of the show. Okay. Normally those conversations are pretty sloppy. So, the idea was get together on Sundays and get pretty boozed up and then turn on the mic. So that's usually what they were. You've got that show has a little bit of everything. Aaron doing impersonations, me doing impersonations, just random. There was no real direction. And eventually we had to start kind of reading some news and we would just go off on the news of the day or whatever. And then there was all this other stuff. It was great. It went for it might have gone for 100 episodes, a little less or a little more. I'm not sure, give or take. Aaron can probably answer us here. But yeah, it was a great, funny show. And I got to be a contributor on that show for several episodes. I loved it. I would love to do a reunion now with this StreamYard that we're using here to do this. Lucky, it'd be really cool because I could get all the guys together probably without having to be in the same room, which is sometimes a challenge. Yes, Steven has since become like a family man and wife and kid on the way. So, I think he tends to look back on those times as like, I don't ever want my wife to know about that shit. So, but, I know I could definitely get Aaron and I could definitely get Marquise who contributed frequently as well. So Jeremy just joined. What's up, Jeremy? Appreciate you being here. Aaron said he'll double your money lucky on the spawn by throwing $30.
Put more than that.
That's a keeper. That's a keeper.
Mm-hmm. You need to put more than that, Aaron.
I don't think you mentioned it. Like, you saw it. It was signed by Todd McFarlane.
Yeah,
very gorgeous.
Yeah,
so huge.
That's why I was like, you're gonna need more than 30.
Yeah. Aaron's he thinks he wants to get in the comic book game, Lucky, but he doesn't know what he's doing.
Nope.
Well, it's an expensive hobby if you
go
after what you want,
and very addicting, man. Since we've been walking back into the comic book store, we're like,
I wish I had some of those books you have back there.
Me too.
I need that Death in the Family set.
Oh man, yeah, dude.
That's when it was very affordable when I got those back in the late 90s when no one gave a shit about Batman.
We know, without leading too much into what we're going to be talking about today. Obviously, sometimes our shirts or the wall gives it away, but I'm in kind of bad lighting here. I wore the wrong one. So Slimer, that's a great shirt, man. I love that.
This shirt actually is on my my website.
Okay, nice. I would have wore my Chadwick Boseman shirt, but I wore it last night for the test, which was now I realize dumb of me. But let me throw that up real quick, guys. If you don't know, Lucky, talk a little bit about that, about the shirt site.
So I try to stay busy and all kinds of stuff, and I had a thought a few years back about creating my own brand. I was trying to put a little spin on Lucky, so I figured, rabbit's foot is good luck, and what's left over, a three-legged rabbit, right?
Yeah,
so
that's funny. I never really got that.
So it kind of means like, you don't need luck to be successful. So I try to put out inspirational stuff or, positive vibes out there. And that's how I started with the shirts. And then, through podcasting, you meet other people and you meet some artists. I met this guy named Nick Zamfotis. He goes by Nick Von Frankenstein on social media. But he's an artist. He's a digital artist. So he's got a lot of cool pictures. And I said, hey, if you ever wanted to put something on a shirt, I could put it on a shirt and, we can put it on my site and sell it and whatever.
Yeah, totally.
And he was down. He was like, yeah, that's cool. So I got a few of his shirts. We got a couple of Joker shirts. I'm sorry, the clown. We can't say Joker.
Right.
This is fan art. It's fan art, right? It's not original. But there is this green ghost you can get also.
The green ghost, yeah, very cool.
It's called Ugly Little Spud, I believe, on the site. So
Ugly Little Spud. I like that.
So yeah, there's a whole section of the shirts he has, and as well as all the other shirts. And there is a section for that says podcast gear.
Okay.
You can find my shirts with my face on it if you want a shirt with my face on it.
Rocking the shade.
Along with some other friends that I've got to know through podcasting. You can find some of their stuff on there as well.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, man, it's very cool. And we got to admire you, man, because it's a bold move to say my logo is going to be me. I'm going to be the logo.
Yeah, looking at the questions, I see Steven said, "Why DorkDad?" So
Oh,
kind of
okay.
a little background. It was called DorkDad Podcast because my initial idea when I started was to have my kids on, and we kind of talk about, movies and TV and get a kid's perspective and an older guy's perspective. And but my kids weren't having it. They were too shy. Even though they're not shy, but trying to get them to do something like this, they're like, no way. And so I started doing a solo show, and it's hard to talk to yourself for an hour or so. So now I'm just trying to bring on guests and people, whoever I can get, whoever wants to be on. So yeah, that's where I'm at now.
Man. Totally. So yeah, it was cool. Like one week you had on, Aaron, and then the next week you recorded with us, and it was kind of our fault. We rushed you because we actually pushed our day back. So you were accommodating to us, which was very nice. Thank you so much again. But the reason why it was like you had to put us at a certain time was because you had a really big guest that was going to come on and do your show with you. Tell us a little bit about that, Lucky, because that's a really cool episode.
I was pretty nervous about that. I don't know if you could tell when I was doing your show, but because I was in the back of my mind, I was thinking, oh, okay, I got this guy coming up next. But if you guys know the movie A Bronx Tale, a gentleman named by Lilo Brancato Jr. Is in that movie. He was also in Renaissance Man, Crimson Tide.
Mm-hmm.
So
Sopranos, that came out in a couple of episodes of Sopranos.
Yeah. He's the main guy in A Bronx Tale. He is Calogero.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal because we love A Bronx Tale.
Yeah.
It's one of our favorite movies.
Yeah.
So that was fucking cool.
When we interviewed with you, I hadn't seen it yet. It was like one of those movies that was in my ether.
Oh, okay.
I just hadn't watched it yet, but I watched it literally that night, and then I watched the documentary about what happened to this guy afterwards, which his life,
brutal stuff,
crazy turn of events, and his life spins out of control, which he talked about with you, which was cool. I mean, you didn't grill him really hard, which was really nice of you. You know what I mean? Because I think it kind of had been said. You know what I mean? And you knew that, and so it was like Plus, if you watch this documentary, it's on Amazon Prime. I mean, it's all there. Mm-hmm. What was the name of the documentary again, Lucky?
Wasted Talent.
Wasted Talent. That's right.
Basically the theme of the Bronx Tale.
Right.
Wasted talent. Don't get caught up in all this BS and do the right thing. And unfortunately, if you see the documentary, he did fall into that bad situation.
Yeah.
But he did his time, and there's people that still like him, people that hate him, but whatever you may think of him, I personally think he's genuine in what he's doing now and trying to recover and send out the message of doing the right thing now.
Yeah, and from what I understood from watching the documentary, he went right back to living in the neighborhood where all that stuff happened. He could have easily said, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to live out in LA. I'm going to live anywhere, Chicago, somewhere where they don't know me after all that drama."
Right.
But no, he went right back to living in New York, and I mean, pretty much right where that's pretty brave and I think and pretty bold of him, to make that kind of move. And so, very cool though. But yeah, so pretty much. You talked to us, a couple of local guys that you could have talked to anytime. And literally right after that, you had Lilo Brancato coming up. So we were like, oh shit. Yeah, we totally understand, man. Like, do your thing or whatever. And, I mean, I can only imagine. I would have cleared my day. I would have told us to fuck off me. And I would have been like, I got to focus on today.
Yeah. It's just one of those things. Like I said, I try to get on guests. So I'll just kind of randomly message people and say, hey, you want to do the show? You want to be on the show? We can talk about whatever. And you never know who's going to say yes. So
I just heard your episode with the
he'll do it, I was like, okay, wow. Now what do I do? And
Yeah.
I was like, I had to do a little. Christopher Castillo,
Right.
local
Right.
guy, well, not local Texan. I believe he's in the Abilene area. But yeah, that's just another guy I saw on TikTok. I thought he was a cool guy. He does a lot of live stuff on TikTok, and and yeah, I had a really good time. He's got some crazy stories. That guy, he's met a bunch of people, and like he believes he sees ghosts. When he was telling me he believes he sees ghosts. Like, okay,
Yeah, I heard him saying
but
that.
he's an excellent artist. If you look him up on he does mainly TikTok now. I believe it's at Wolf US 888, and you can't see it. There is a picture back here he did for me. I posted it on my social media as well about that picture.
Very badass picture.
It's pretty
man.
sweet picture. Yep. I told him I'm a Batman fan, and he did that for me. So that was great.
Yeah, it was so funny hearing the episode where you're showing it to him, and your show is just audio. So he didn't remember drawing it. He's like, wait, I drew that. Like he kept wanting Lucky to like show it to him some more. And then his daughter, I guess, comes in the room, which is cool because sometimes on TikTok they do art together, and she inks.
Oh, okay.
And she is a badass inker.
Nice.
And she's like, yeah, no, you did it. And then he's like, put it up again, show me again. And like, I'm guessing y'all were on Zoom, right?
Yeah, we're on Zoom. We had some difficulties. I couldn't see his video, but he could see me. So, but
yeah, I know we might have had a little sound issue a minute ago ourselves, but I think we're good now. But anyway, it was so funny to kind of hear him. Like, he's like, man, I don't even remember. He's like, I do so many, you know what I mean? And I was just like, yeah. And then, I've never bought a commission like that, so I don't know. I think you have, right? You bought some? No. But yeah, you told me what you paid for it, and I mean, you kept saying that was a great price, so I can only imagine what that costs.
In my opinion, it is because you go to cons, and depending on the artist, if you have something like just a comic cover, have them draw something. Sometimes they cost about that much just to do a comic cover, and this is a big, 18 by 20 picture. So, and he does some even bigger. He does some like 36 by 20 something. It's huge
poster.
Yeah. It's neat to watch him draw on the TikTok because he does it. He does it fast, and he says he turns them out fast too. So it's cool. A few more comments came in here. Let me see here. Aaron says he does know what he's doing. I mean, it's up for debate, Aaron. Really,
I do not know what I'm doing.
Oh, you do? Oh, you do not know? Yeah, you do not know. Yeah, okay, that's not up for debate. We agree with you on that. But you're supporting both of our podcasts, Aaron, so we appreciate that. Joe in the house. What up, Joe? Joe says, "DorkDad, I can relate. Most certainly, Joe. You. I would not call you a dork, because I think you're a nice guy. But you know what I mean. You obviously have your nerd knowledge in line, Joe. So we appreciate that. Me and Charles are going to do a podcast called Movies Charles hasn't seen. I've seen it now, Joe. I watched The Bronx Tale afterwards. All right. I'm constantly under fire here, Lucky, for what I haven't watched. But yes,
let's dig into that. Movies you haven't seen. What's a big movie that you haven't seen that everybody else has seen?
Oh man, you probably would know something to chastise me for first, right? What would be something that I constantly?
Hey, there's been a few that you surprised me with last year.
Yeah.
What the hell? You haven't seen that one?
I need it. Let me think of. I've never seen.
Oh, he hasn't seen a lot of the James Bond movies.
Yeah, I'm missing quite a few James Bonds. Really, like
I'm in that same boat. I'm not a one.
Yeah. Oh, not any.
Not any.
Oh wow, okay. Lucky. See, that's tough, man. You got to get on them new ones at least. You know what I mean? So, like the GoldenEye era down is where I got all that covered. But like I've never seen Dune. I know it's a big people love.
Never seen that one.
Okay, so Double A's never seen Dune either. There might not be.
I hear mixed reviews about that one.
But there, Joe jumped in quick. Roadhouse. I have not seen Roadhouse.
Still. I think that was a big
I've seen Roadhouse.
You got shit on.
Yeah, I took a lot of heat for not seeing Roadhouse. So. It's on my list, guys. On my list. It's gotta be somewhere I can see it for free. Like that I'm already paying for. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go red box it. So But you know what I've never seen, and I kind of outright refuse to see it, is like I've never seen Grease, like beginning to end.
Okay.
I don't like musicals that much.
No, that one's hard because it's almost always on TV.
Okay. Yeah. And then I've also in that vein, because I don't really like musicals that much, I've never seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Nothing against it, but also because my dad told me one time, he's like, if you see it, you got to see it in movie theaters your first time. He said, don't watch it until it's like a screening of it. And I said, okay. He goes, otherwise it's not fun. I said, all right. So I've never been to a screening of it, so therefore I have not seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show either. Yeah. And I know I catch a lot of hell for that. So
I saw that movie. I saw that movie back in high school. I don't know if you remember the old Central Park Mall.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. There used to be the little Fox Theater that was in the back there. I don't know if you guys remember that. Maybe I'm too old for you guys.
No. You're not that much older than us. There's still a theater. There was in Park Mall. No, Central Park Mall is gone now. That became a club.
There used to be a little small theater. Mm-hmm. There's a Target there. There's a Target there now, right?
Right.
So in the very back, there was a small Fox Theater. I guess that was the name. I just remember saying Fox Theater. But I want to say every month or so they would do a Rocky Horror Picture Show night, and I went with these people I knew at the time, and I was kind of weirded out because they're there singing along, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing when you watch it like that.
Yeah, I definitely want to see it that way. I think that's cool, and I know that I've been to other like things hosted at the Draft House that were like interactive. Yeah. I think I saw Pulp Fiction like that, and they gave you cap guns and all that stuff or whatever. But Joe says it's on Tubi. I just got the Tubi app. So, okay, Joe, I'll look it up. I need something to watch. Aaron says I'm a schmuck for not having seen Roadhouse. And Joe says my dad is super cool for the advice on Rocky Horror.
Roxanne says she loves Dune.
Roxanne does love Dune. She often tries to sell me on Dune.
And it looks like Joe's with you on the bonds.
Okay. All right, Joe. All right. Then so... and Joe also says he remembers the theater there, Lucky, the Central, yes, the Dollar Theater. Maybe because we had our own Dollar Theater down here on the south side. We're on the south side, so
McCreeless.
How about that, Lucky? You're from San Antonio, right? You're a native San Antonian?
I say yes. I was actually born in California. Okay. And I want to say we moved here when I was like, I don't know, a youngin', 2 or 3. And I want to say around 3rd or 4th grade, I moved back to California, and then we came back. But I consider myself a Texan. So
yeah, pretty much. Your folks are from here, from San Antonio? No.
My mom's here. My dad is in California.
Okay, where'd you graduate high school, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, MacArthur.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I tell people I like, me too. I was born in Georgia because my dad's military. You know what I mean? But so it's like we bounced around kind of like my elementary school years, but then I spent like all of my high school years here and all of my, I would say like adult youth, you know what I mean? Like 21 and, after here. So I consider myself a native already San Antonian, even though I'm directionally challenged and can still get lost. It's a pretty big town. You know what I mean?
I know it's a lot cheaper to live here. I know that.
Yeah, it is.
And Lucky, you got a question California. Here. It says, well, Joe says first, Draft House does Rocky Horror. Then he asks you, In-N-Out or Whataburger, Lucky? Be careful.
Come on, Whataburger. Come on.
All the way. There you go.
All day long.
I just had to.
Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I'm in the mood for an In-N-Out, but no, Whataburger all the way.
Yeah, I never get in the mood for In-N-Out, so maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm still doing it wrong, but like Whataburger.
I heard there's a secret menu.
That's what I hear too. Yeah,
I like
Aaron had
the animal style. If you ask for that, it's just more sauce and like onions and stuff.
Okay, cool. I've been on a recent Whataburger breakfast kick. Like if you haven't,
their breakfast is pretty damn good.
Breakfast pretty damn good. Gotta get that jalapeno cheddar biscuit.
Or for those on their low carb diet, you ask for a Flying Dutchman and there's no buns.
Oh, no buns. All right then. Okay. Interesting. That's good on the secret menu there. Guys, if you're watching us on Facebook Live or you're listening to us, you know that we're getting right up to that point where we take a quick break. So we're going to be right back talking more with the Dork Dad. But if you're watching with us live on Facebook Live, we're going to stick right here and be hanging out.
Right.
Oh, and it looks like my recording might already be processing. So my audio might not have that that I normally say right there. So yeah, Lucky, this just takes a second since we use Anchor, and I know you know as a podcaster, the different formats you use to put your show up. I think you told us before you use Podbeam. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I think I asked before, is it beam, like a laser beam, or beam like beans and rice and beans?
Frijoles, yeah, frijoles.
It's Podbeam. Okay. So yeah, so it just takes a second. Once it processes, I'll bring us back. And then, I mean, we're still here live, but yeah. So
I admire you guys for doing it the way you do it, just straight into the.
Oh man.
I have to go in there and I take my time and edit.
Yeah.
I'll try to take out as much ums out,
No, man, that's awesome. Because I heard when you had Chris on and he gave his number to you, like he was about to give it to you and you cut that out. I was like, ooh, I got to ask how he does that.
Yeah.
It was a good cut,
Yeah, I was like, no.
Yeah. And then you always do like an intro too. Your show reminds me of Mark Maron. I don't know if you ever listen to Mark Maron, the WTF podcast.
I think I've listened once or twice.
He's a really great podcaster, and he was on the Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling
Glow
show that was on Netflix on Glow. Yeah, he played a real asshole, and he kind of comes off like an asshole in real life too. And I've seen some of his stand up; he's pretty good. But anyway, as far as the podcaster goes, he is a great podcaster. He's had like a who's who of people on, including Obama. But he does the same thing that you do. Like he does an intro, tells you like about like, oh, I talked to him here, or he came by and we did this and da 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 da. And then the show kind of takes a left turn and then this and that. And then he'll play a little bit of guitar. Then it goes into the audio. So it's kind of neat. I think he probably does a little bit of cleanup too. I don't know why we started doing it this way, but this is just the way we do it now. So we're constantly changing too. Who knows? We'll probably get to another format soon. But yeah, so I'm taking a look at Anchor. It's still processing. Let me see any more comments in here, Lucky.
Your audio was kind of breaking up. I don't know if that came across.
Yeah, that's kind of what happened to you a little while ago. Your audio kind of broke up, so I don't know how it's going to catch. How it's going to sound.
It is one of the challenges when you do it over the internet, because
I know
some people's signal may not be as strong. I know my signal's not that great in my house, but I did get a notice saying AT&T is going to start running fiber in my neighborhood. So
nice.
That'll be good once it comes in.
I know you'll be on it, man, because I know you're a guy that like gets on his tech and stuff like that. So
I try.
The roadcaster.
Yeah, I try.
Let's see here. So let me see here. We got a few more comments. Let me read these while we're still in our little pseudo break. It's not technically a break, but let's see here.
Aaron says you can get chopped peppers with the animal style too. Okay. And that's at In-N-Out.
Nice.
Joe wants us to ask you about your Deadpool 2 theater story. What the hell is that about?
Wait, should I be recording for this? I can record for this through audio.
Yeah, you can. I'm just trying to remember. Unless Joe went back to listen to some of my earlier episodes. Is this one with my daughter, Joe?
Yeah, he probably did. He's a hardcore podcast listener, so. Okay, for the audio listeners, we're back now. Lucky, are you still with us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see if Joe gets in at all. Aaron says not bad at all. Sounds good. And then, we just read a comment, guys, in our Facebook Live feed that said to ask Lucky to tell his Deadpool 2 theater story. And Lucky is just trying to confirm here. Joe says yes. The one with your daughter.
All right, let me try to remember. But back before
the old episodes.
Back before this whole COVID thing, me and my family had went to the movies. I don't know if it was Deadpool that we were watching, but it is a kind of funny story if I remember right. So we were there, and I think my daughter was just messing around. I don't remember how I said it before. She was putting her feet on the back of the seat in front of her. I mean, there was hardly anybody in there.
Okay.
And she was kind of just like, I don't know, pushing the seat back and forth. Like I said, this was before the movie even started. And some lady told her something to the words of could you stop doing that or something. She told her something pretty ugly, you know, right? And
shit.
I was trying to be an adult and not, you know, try to fight in a theater that's, you know, we're all gonna watch the same movie.
Right.
And so the movie actually goes to start, and I'm like, I'm trying to control myself not to say anything because this lady's husband takes off his shoes, right? And is like got his like nasty socks and like his feet up on the chair in front of him.
What the hell?
And you know, I was trying to control myself. I'm like, really, lady, you're telling my daughter to stop playing around because you know, she's pushing on the chair, and you have your husband over here with this stanky feet up in there. It's like, come on, man. I probably told the story better back in that episode. So if you guys want to look,
Joe said maybe you were watching Solo, not Deadpool 2.
Solo, yes, I think that was it.
Okay,
yeah, that's been a while. Solo.
No, that makes me want to go back and listen. But no, well, number one, we talked about this before. Me and Double A, Lucky, even in our episode with you, you don't seem like the type to get hot-headed. You come off very mellow. You've got a very mellow like vibe to you or whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I think anybody else, if they would have in that situation, they would have gone off on them. But I was like, you know, they're not even worth it. You know, I do get mad though. It takes a lot to get me mad, but I do. So if you ever see me mad, watch out.
Yeah, that's the California side, the chill side coming out. No, I get what you mean or whatever. You know, I try to be as non-confrontational as possible as well. Sometimes to a fault. Well, because this is Texas and people shoot each other here. So
yeah.
But yeah, Joe says the feet would have killed him. Yeah, totally. I would have been, especially after making a comment like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Fucking bitch.
Yeah. You know,
I don't remember her exact words, but it was pretty nasty.
Yeah, Double A's oldest brother is a little bit of our Sonny Corleone. He's a bit of a hothead. I know he would have tried to tell her to shut the fuck up or something like that.
Yeah.
But hey, so without further ado, we're going to continue to talk with Lucky here from DorkDad Podcast about a variety of things. But if you saw my shirt, and you can barely see it, and if you see the back here, you know that one of the things we're going to talk about is Batman. Guys, Double A and myself have caught some heat for apparently our dislike of DC and dislike of Batman, which is completely unwarranted. I would say we're two fairly huge Batman fans.
Yeah, and I've gone on record many times saying that the Christopher Nolan trilogy is the best trilogy in comic books for me, in my opinion.
Okay,
that's my opinion.
Yeah,
I think it's a great 1, 2, 3.
I agree. I agree that it is a great 1, 2, 3. The best, I don't know if I'd say that it was the best. I see Lucky doing a thumbs down here. So Lucky, the reason why we wanted to talk Batman is because I think of you as a big Batman fan. From what I've heard of you on Three Geeks and a Mic, and you had like amassed this collection of Batman shit behind you.
Yeah, I got like all the new McFarlane stuff. Like I can't help myself. I need to get them all.
Yeah, you gave away a gorgeous Christmas
nice.
time, a gorgeous raffle over at Atomic Toys and More. Your friend and now mine, Javi, gave away a huge, like this freaking big, like big out of the screen here.
Statue.
Yeah, Mike Mignola drawn based on his drawing of Batman. I wanted to win that thing. I was like, what the hell, yo? But
cool. And it was a colored one. You don't see that many in color and that size. You usually see the black and white one all the time. But all the black and white statues from Batman.
Yeah. So back up. You were thumbs downing the Nolan trilogy here. What? Not the best trilogy in movies or in comics or in
just in comics?
No,
movies.
No,
in comics.
Yeah,
they're good movies. I don't like Bale as Batman. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well,
I like the movie.
The voice killed me for him as Batman.
I thought that was badass.
But yeah, so Batman. So for those who don't know, I'm a big Batman fan, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I enjoy the comics. I am trying to get Batman comics, some key issues.
Good luck on
But
that.
Yeah.
I am not, like I say, I'm not an expert. I don't know all the stories.
You don't either.
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I just need to find time to actually read all the stories. But
Well, let's back up. Like, where does would you say he's your favorite comic book character?
yes.
Okay,
Cool.
So tell me a little bit about that. Where does that love stem from?
I think just growing up as a kid, I mean, I told the story on my show. Just the character Batman, I think I was just drawn to. I remember visiting my dad during the summer of '89, waiting in a long line to see
The original.
Batman, and and that just stuck. That's my Batman. Original '89, and since then I've always had a love for Batman. But it's not until now, getting my later years where I can actually afford and appreciate some of the Batman stuff, as my wife says. So.
Yeah, no, totally. I mean, he's the number, in my opinion, some people will argue, he's in my opinion, the number 2 guy in DC. He's probably he's got to be like the number 3 or number 2 guy in films. I mean, like, as far as the amount of films, and then the probably money wise too, I would imagine.
Number 2 in DC.
Well, there's always Superman there. Lucky,
you can't beat the symbol.
This is where we get a lot of shit, because we're more like Superman guys of the two titans of DC. It's like, I mean, for us,
I'll give it to you. I mean, Superman movies came out first, Christopher Reeves, but Batman is Batman. I mean, I think the thing about Superman that a lot of people don't like, he's a Boy Scout. He's boring to some people. You know what I mean? Batman has all the cool gadgets,
right?
I don't know.
People love a bad boy, you know what I mean? So I get it. No, I love the '89 Batman. Mm-hmm. I love Michael Keaton as Batman. Love Tim Burton's version of Batman and Batman Returns. So I'm right there with you, man. In '89, I was in California still. New movies didn't show on base. They would only show you movies that had been out like a month or two. So to see a new movie, you had to go off base. You had to go to the drive-through. That's all they had. Not drive-in. So we went to the drive-in. My dad took us. Yeah. And it was like, I'm old school too. So you hung the speaker inside your car. You had to hang that big metal speaker in your car. And we had this station wagon back then, and we hung it in the car. And I mean, I was like, man, and it was the only movie I know my dad ever paid to take us to twice. Cause he was like, we're going to go to the movies again. We're going to see something different. But I begged and pleaded, like, let's see Batman again. So I saw the '89 Batman twice in drive-in in California. Cause again, it was the only way you could see new movies. And dude, I had it all, man. Like the folders that came out, you know what I mean? From Mead, the Mead company. And dude, when Batman Returns came out, I got all the Burger King stuff. And
that's right, all that shit.
It might have been McDonald's, whoever it was.
Yeah, it was probably
I got it all, man, because I was like, dude, this is so awesome.
That's right.
They did a great job. I love Batman in the movies for the most part. I love Batman in the animated series.
Oh, yeah.
It's sometimes the comic book Batman that turns me off the most, because we've had this discussion. We feel like they make him like the number 1 brain in all of DC. And we're like, there's nobody smarter than you. Yeah. I'm like, Lex is not smarter than you. Like, some people are scientists and he can outsmart literally anyone in their whole universe. And I'm like, in Marvel, it's like,
it's
Reed
a group
Richards.
Of guys.
Yeah.
But it's a group of guys, really.
Yeah. And if you're going to put one at the top, it's like Reed Richards. And then number 2 is like a bad guy, which is Dr. Doom. And then, you've still got, Banner and
Xavier.
A group of Charles Xavier, other
Stark.
guys. And it's like, it just seems like they're like, sometimes Batman fans are so rabid. They're like, I think they let it cloud their vision of like, okay, he's still just a guy. You know what I mean? Like, people are like, no, we want him to fight Superman. We want him to fight all these other people. I'm like, he can't take on Darkseid one-on-one. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like,
Yeah, now, I mean, when you compare it to Marvel, Marvel is definitely over DC in my opinion, but
Oh, for sure.
I still think the number one guy in DC is Batman. I think that's the only thing they have going for them, even comic wise. Now, I mean, I think that's really the only thing.
Comic wise, yeah.
Yeah.
We always say he has the best rogue gallery.
Mm-hmm.
We always say that his stories, you can actually go back and tell people what kind of stories to read. You can't really tell that with any other kind of DC hero.
Right.
Like right here, I got like 4 different stories that I would recommend to people to read if they wanted to read their first Batman story.
Yeah, totally. And that's another thing. I mean, like we said, when we did our Rogues Gallery episode, who's got the best Rogues Gallery, we went over who we thought would be the big 4 of Rogues Galleries, which included the X-Men, Superman, Spider-Man, and then Batman. And Batman, for me, was number 1 because his Rogues Gallery is so diverse. It's not only that, but if you're going to go by the saying, you're only as good as your best bad guy, he has the absolute top, which is the Joker.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's a reason to love Batman and the Batman universe, is because you're like, well, shit, him, Harley Quinn, you know what I mean? It's like,
Catwoman,
Catwoman. It's like,
Riddler,
these are characters that are very cool on their own.
Mr.
Poison Ivy,
Clayface, Scarecrow.
Like, those characters are cool on their own. You know what I mean? Like, damn, I'm just like, Batman the Animated Series, episode 4, Heart of Ice, made me a fan of Mr. Freeze. Like, I was like, that's a cool villain, So, I mean, those are the kind of things I think that are great about Batman. Yeah.
It's funny you say Mr. Freeze, because whatchamacallit, Batman and Robin is probably the worst Batman movie ever. But I love Arnold Schwarzenegger in that movie. If that makes sense, I love his over the topness in that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to take it for what it is, but
for sure.
But I just like that. I think I just think nowadays it's kind of cooler to have to find stuff from that movie, as far as like collectibles, because it was a bad movie. They don't make anything now,
Right. Yeah. So if you have something, it's definitely worth something. I think you referenced in our episode a great part you did like about in one of our episodes.
Yeah.
About what Arnold did with Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, there's a part where like he's watching a video of his wife, and you see the tear coming down, and it just like freezes. And that's what kind of reminded me about the animated series,
right?
Version of Mr. Freeze. I was like, damn, they almost got it right there.
They should have captured a little bit more.
But
that.
With Arnold, when you got a guy like Arnold, you're gonna expect the one-liners.
Oh yeah, Arnold's gonna Arnold. Yeah. No, I thought that the makeup kind of looked cool. I didn't care for
makeup was cool.
The Freeze outfit, but
I like the Freeze outfit.
The blue light.
I like the gun. The gun was cool.
Yeah, but you also have him working with Clooney as Batman, who's definitely probably not the best Batman.
You know what? It's funny though. He might not be the best
Bat nipples.
I think he's the best Bruce Wayne.
That's interesting.
Because that's natural to him.
What do you think about that, Lucky? What about best Bruce Wayne?
I don't know. I think they go hand in hand. In my
well, because Bruce, he has to act like a pussy,
right?
He has to act like he's not interested, like he's a spoiled rich kid.
Yeah.
So who would you say does that?
You got to look at the whole package.
Wait, who's that?
Yeah.
Is our audio coming in okay on your side, Lucky?
I don't know. I like Val Kilmer.
You know what? I told my wife he's very underrated.
He's if we're making a list, he's my number 3 Batman.
Oh wow, who's number 2?
2, not because of the movies, but
I think
I like Ben Affleck.
Oh, we had nothing.
I think
bad
he was,
to say.
I think he was a great Bruce Wayne. Yeah, definitely. We got you on Ben Affleck.
I like Ben Affleck as my number 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so you're winding us down here to number one. So
I had no problem with him.
No, I like Ben. I like Ben Affleck. I think he was good.
my
I think he was a good Batman and a good Bruce Wayne.
my favorite Batman is Frank Miller. I was saying I like it because I like Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, the bigger, buffer Batman. I think he kind of portrays that look.
He did. He did really good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, number one's Keaton though. That's my number one.
Okay. No. Great choice.
I'm in agreement with that. Michael Keaton is Batman. There's no doubt about it. Way better than Kilmer, Clooney, Bell, Affleck. He has that intimidation factor.
Mm-hmm.
He has the voice. I mean, Michael Keaton.
What's interesting, you heard he was going to be part of the Flash movie, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Exciting.
So what's interesting, I heard just here recently, is that supposedly he is going to be the main Batman, I guess, in that storyline, which is kind of interesting because it's Ezra Miller as the Flash, and we know Ezra Miller was Flash with Ben Affleck. So,
right,
is that Justice League timeline the alternate timeline? You know what I mean?
Well, Flash in the Flash comics, he does a lot of time travel.
Yeah. And is he going between multiverses as well?
He probably is, because Flash does go across all the multiverses.
That's fine, I think, if they do that, but you just got to do it right, because you got to make that story.
Well, DC's
concise.
Always multiverse. That's DC's always main thing is multiverses. So, yeah, I mean,
definitely. So what else, Lucky? Like for you, I know I've heard you on like your 3 Geeks and a Mic episodes talking about some of the games. So is that more, would you say that's more where you get more into Batman in that sense? Is there one that you like? I know I played the
what was the big one? The one that everyone was raving about.
Arkham Asylum. That was the first one. And I think they did a total of 3, Lucky. Am I right?
I'm trying to make out what you're saying. On my end, you're breaking up a little bit.
Ah, damn it. Okay. Let me repeat. I'll repeat myself.
But I heard the video games.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the video games. I played, I think, 2 of them of the Arkham series, which I like, and I just don't have time to play video games. But if I had the time, I would definitely dig in more.
Oh, we might have lost Lucky here for a second, guys. So we'll see if we can get him back here in a minute. If you are listening to us on audio, guys, we do have Lucky the Dork Dad with us. We had him with us, but we just lost the feed here. Double A, read us a couple of comments if you want to. I don't know if you want to scroll up while I see if I can get him back on the phone here.
So we're talking Batman, guys. And so if you have any comments, bring them in. Let me see. Aaron says Superman whoops Batman's ass. Joe says Dark Knight Returns. Steven says I'm more of an old Batman only because I'm older. I'm more of an original Batman.
Yeah.
Okay. I still fuck with the 66 Batman.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah. Adam West Batman.
Jessica says, hey guys. Hey Jess.
What's up, Jess?
The animated series hit around 92 was awesome. From Joe.
Totally.
He's the world's greatest detective. Joe. Yeah, sure. Steven says, Chuck, he has a bat computer to help him.
That is a good point, Steven. Oh, I think we might have got Lucky back here. Hit that add to stream button. Lucky, you back, man.
I don't know what happened. Like I said, it might be my internet connection.
Yeah, totally fine. Hey, this is why you don't do yours live, because these things will happen.
Yeah, I can just edit all that out.
We'll edit it out of the. This is live TV.
I put in the little SpongeBob 2 hours later.
2 hours later, yeah, or I can get the old let's all go to the lobby. No, we're good. No, we took the time to read a little bit of comments there. But no, you're back and you sound good. But no, we were talking a little bit about the video games. And I know you said you don't have a lot of time to play. Back when the first one came out, I got to play that one, and I thought it was really, really excellent looking. They did like new, fresh takes on like some of the characters' costumes, and so that was really cool. So I dug that first Arkham. I didn't continue to play because I was also like in a lull of like video game playing, so I didn't have a lot of time either. But
I'm not a gamer, but I've heard a lot of great things.
Hell of a
about
lot
that.
of fun, man.
Yeah.
And cool story too. You know what I mean? It's always neat when they can, you're literally, he gets locked into Arkham and he gets pretty much led in by the Joker. And the plan is to kind of have him locked in there with all of his, nemesises, and they pretty much take their shots at him.
Yeah. What I like about those games, like those are my type of games. I like doing all the little side missions and all that.
Right.
That, like I said, that's my type of game. All these first-person shooters that everybody's into, I can't do those, man.
Yeah.
I just run around looking like an idiot.
I'm sure you heard me on here talking about Fortnite. I play because of my nephew, 7. But Batman's on there. He was one of the first like licensed characters I think that came out on there, and you can get him in like kind of the gray suit with the black bat, and it looks kind of like a comic book version. But then you've also they have like the Christian Bale version on there too, which is cool. And they've just recently added the Joker, Harley Quinn, and Catwoman, so you as well. So it's a pretty nice little Bat family people you can play as. Now, part of the weird thing when they do this is I don't think they think it all the way through at Fortnite, Epic Games, is because you bring a guy like Batman in there and you have him in Fortnite. It's a first person shooter. So you're not first person, but third person shooter.
Third person.
You're running around with guns. I'm like,
yeah.
Why would you give that a gun?
He doesn't kill anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's against guns.
So it's very like weird to be running around with Batman with a gun, but
that shouldn't happen.
That shouldn't happen. They should have thought that more through. Now, when you're using the Joker, it's very, it feels very accurate. You know what I mean? So, but were you a big fan of Batman the Animated Series? Obviously, that was probably, I think that was around the time we were all kind of in our, after school TV watching.
Yeah, I want to say it was in high school, and at the time I didn't catch it. I'm glad it's on HBO Max now, so I can go back and watch it. High school was a weird time. I played football, and maybe I thought it was too cool. It was still nerds were still nerds back then. You know what I mean? Now it's cool to be a nerd. So I'm letting my nerdness shine, if you will.
It was always inside of you, Lucky. You just had to like let it out, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Do you have like a favorite? I know you said you don't get to do that much comic book reading, but was there anything that you did really dig that you got to read that stands out to you?
As far as Batman, I like the Long Halloween. I read that, and the continuing one, the Dark Victory. I really like that storyline, and I'm kind of excited. I don't know if you know the story or not, but it has a lot of characters in it, and supposedly this new Batman movie with the Patman is loosely based on that kind of stuff, along with Hush. So I'm just glad to see all these different characters that we're going to see all these. You know what I mean?
Have you ever read The Year One by Frank Miller?
I have the paperback, but I haven't read it yet.
You
I
should read
I have a lot of trades that I'm collecting. I just haven't.
I think is my favorite Batman story. That one.
Yep, got to dig into that.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. I know Hush and Long Halloween are two of the stories I hear so much about, and I love Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale, but I've never had an opportunity to read those. And when I say that, it's just because I haven't picked those up, and I'm in this hardcover buying phase right now, so I know that trades are easily available, but I'm like, no, I want to get a nice hardcover, but those are so damn popular. The hardcovers are hard to come by. So I would love to read those two. I think the stories both sound amazing. The art looks amazing, and I'm excited about the Pattinson one. That first trailer, obviously, I wasn't against it when they cast him. I was like, it's fine because you don't know until the movie comes out.
Oh, yeah, he's a great actor, I think. If you ever seen Devil All the Time that's on Netflix right now,
I haven't seen that one.
You guys need to watch that.
Okay.
It has Spider-Man in there. What's his name? The young kid.
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. I'm telling you, Devil All the Time.
I was never against him as Batman. I thought he looked good.
Yeah,
I was fine with him. I want to see a new take on it. So
for sure,
Colin Farrell as Penguin looks pretty interesting. So
did you watch The Lighthouse?
I haven't seen that one, but I want to watch it.
Did you watch it, Lucky, The Lighthouse?
I didn't. That's on my list too. But
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a trip, and he's good in it. He's really good in it. So it's a trippy ass movie. So, but yeah, no, I think he's a great actor. I mean, it's of
I have
course,
no problem with it.
yeah, he's tied to Twilight, so he gets a little
I
bit.
mean,
of
people
heat,
bitch about Michael Keaton. People bitch about
Hugh Jackman.
People bitch about Ben Affleck. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you got to wait till you see the movie, then you can kind of
Yeah.
make a determination.
I'm crossing my fingers, but I think he's gonna do good.
yeah, I think so.
I think so
Um,
too.
Yeah.
I think so
As
too.
far, as far as newer comic lines, DC has a Black Label, and I really dig the White Knight. I don't know if you've guys gotten into that.
What was
No.
that? What was the main premise of that story?
The original one is where Joker is actually the good guy, and trying to turn everybody against the Batman. And I just really like it. And the second phase, which came out just this last year, was Curse of the White Knight, and that digs more into the history of the Waynes and the character Azrael. So it's really neat.
Okay.
And it is a Black Label, so it's not. I guess it's not canon or whatever. It's like an Elseworld tale, but it's really great if you guys get into that. Yeah,
no, I know we last talked to you, which was when we were on your show. We talked a little bit about Three Jokers. I think it was either just coming out or just starting.
Yes, it was.
And I know you said you were going to get it, but you hadn't read it yet.
Yeah, I have the hardcover. But yeah, I haven't got into it.
Sure.
I picked it up too, even though I've got the single issues. I picked it up too. But man, we just loved it. And I mean, like, I just love a good Batman story. You know what I mean? And I think the best stories about Batman are when he's not this. I think the appeal of Batman is that he is a guy, a normal. He's like, to me, which people don't like the comparison, but I'm like, he's like the Punisher in Marvel, like where it's like he's just a guy that's really resourceful and is a great, excellent fighter. You know what I mean? And I love and when it comes to the Punisher, they give him this great military background and he's a veteran, and so that stuff matters. Now, of course, with Batman, you've got the training and all that, but it's great. But to me, the stories where Batman really shines is where he's underneath all this adversity. Kind of like with Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
When they do the Spider-Man movies like that, you see him against these odds that are insurmountable. So it makes Spider-Man be more heroic. And that's exactly what I saw in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy, is because I felt like Batman kept getting his ass beat. And I was like, yeah, this is it, like how it would be. He's a man, his body is broken, he's getting beaten up, he's getting outwitted. It's like he's getting, I mean, in The Dark Knight, I feel like Joker has him at every fucking turn. I was like, wow, like you're getting creamed, like you're in the weeds, man. Like, he didn't have an answer, and that's when you really see the best and most heroic Batman. And then of course in the Dark Knight Returns, with his physical body being broken by Bane and getting physically bested, you're like, shit, how's he going to get out of this? You know what I mean? And that's what makes him so. I think those are the kind of Batman stories that I love reading the most. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That Nolan trilogy, I think the villains outshine Batman in those movies. I think that's what made him great.
Yeah, for sure. When you see that first fight with Bane and Superman, Bane and Bale, it's like crazy or whatever. Give me a quick second here, Lucky. I'm gonna let our audio process, but again, we're still hanging out on live, so we're good. Give me a minute here, Lucky. We're gonna read through some comments and get some stuff here for you and for us to chit chat about. Let's see, right there.
Joe's there. Yeah.
This one. Let me get. Just as hey guys. Okay, Joe says the animated series hit around 92. It was awesome. Definitely agree with you on that, Joe. He also says he's the world's greatest detective. You agree on that one, Lucky? Batman?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Steve, you might have missed this earlier. Lucky Steve says he's got the Bat computer to help him. Totally true. Joe does a little Mr. Freeze for us. Ice to meet you. Yes, anyone meeting Lucky right now? Nice to meet you. The bat skates killed me. Yeah, that is a truly hokey. Rest in peace, Joel Schumacher. But those things. Affleck is the bomb in Phantoms. I totally agree, Joe. Steve says, Michael, I think he means Michael Keaton, yes, is being the best. And then Joe says Arkham City, I think, is the best. Aaron says Batman was a pimp. You know what? I would like to see that story.
He's got the money, right?
He does. Steve says we're having a good show, guys. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. That's the best compliment. And then Aaron follows up with, he's always banging hot broads.
All right, Aaron.
Yeah, I didn't see him with a lot of uglies there. You know, Bruce Wayne pulled him down. So Lucky says he's back. Indeed, you are, Lucky. Yeah. Paul Dini wrote the first 2 Arkham games and the animated series. Joe says that, gives us that comment. That's awesome to know because Paul Dini is an excellent,
best writer,
excellent Batman writer in my opinion. Joe says favorite Vicky Vale. Was there more than one in the movies?
I think he's saying like his favorite, and then he's saying like Vicky
Vale. Vicky Vale is his favorite. Yeah. Of the hot chicks. Yeah. I liked Nicole Kidman as a Chase. She was nice. Chase Meridian, Dr. Chase Meridian.
I mean, don't judge me, but I kind of like Anne Hathaway as Catwoman.
No, I loved her as Catwoman.
My sister she just hates Anne Hathaway. I don't know why. She just has a hatred for Anne Hathaway. But no, I thought she's great as Catwoman. Very smart, very beautiful.
I was kind of rooting for her to get the She-Hulk job, but I thought she would have been a good She-Hulk. But
I didn't even know she was in the talks for that.
Oh, that was just my personal fan casting.
I got you. Well, she was she would definitely be a good looking
Jennifer.
Yeah. Walters is Walters.
I think so.
Walters. Yeah. So let's see what else we got here. Joe says
Watch Year One animated. It's brutal.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Joe.
I'll check that out. Joe says he's vengeance.
Okay. There you go.
It says Chuck, don't mean to bring y'all down. Please be careful out there. Oh man.
Sorry about this.
Yeah, sorry about that loss, Steve. Man, that's rough, man. COVID. Steve says COVID. Yeah, man. We are, Steve. We're really doing our best. You know, we had our little kind of scare last week. That's kind of the reason we don't have Lucky in the house, is because we want to be extra safe for everybody. You know what I mean? Until a time when we can feel a little bit more, secure about things or whatever. So for sure, we don't want to expose anyone, and we don't want, to be exposed, obviously. But dude, literally every day, I don't know about you guys. I know you two both have kids, but my nephew, he lives in my house. We live together, all of us, and his school calls him every day. They get a call every day, and automated. It says today 2 faculty members and 2 students.
I get them too,
or one student. So it's like when you hear that, I want to have 3 or 4 days of saying 0. Just fucking say 0, man. Like then we'll know. You know what I mean? So Steve, definitely really sorry for your loss, man. But you be safe too. All of you guys be safe out there.
Yeah, I have a sister that's a nurse in California, and
oh my gosh,
geez.
Oh my god.
So she tells me stuff that goes on, but people just I agree. Everybody be safe out there. I know there's still people out there that believe it's all fake and make believe, but it's the real deal, people.
Yeah, 400,000 people will say no.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. It's definitely real. And if you've got family doing that, Double A's wife and you see your sister, right? Lucky, you said?
Yeah, sister.
Yeah, so definitely for sure. Let's last of the comments here, guys. It's Joe says Batman's Rogues Gallery always draws in the big stars. They end up getting top billing. True, definitely true. Aaron, of course, says
which one?
Batman did bang that weird chick in The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight.
Aaron, you gotta fill us
in. In the Dark Knight.
The weird chick.
I think Aaron might have downloaded the Pornhub version of Batman. Send us a link, Aaron. We'll investigate further for you.
Was it from like a bachelor auction? I don't know if it's me, but it seems like almost every Batman story with the animated series or something, there's always a situation where he's like the bachelor and he's in an auction to get his time.
It's like a time-honored trope to get you into something.
Man, Aaron lost me. The one with the weird nose now?
Yeah, Joe says I got 3 with the ECISD calls on the COVID thing. Yeah. Aaron's following up. He says the one with the weird nose.
Is he talking about Jake's sister? Maggie?
Oh,
Like,
I know. No. He's talking about when Uma Thurman played Poison Ivy, when she's kind of like a nerd in the beginning, the nerd scientist.
But you didn't bang her.
I think I like Uma's nose, very refined. Her old nose.
But they didn't bang.
They didn't. Well, in Aaron's mind, I'm sure
they can't because she's poison.
Yeah. Double A says they did not bang Aaron, just unconfirmed. You know what I mean? But Batman's kind of like Bond in that sense.
And Joe is saying Miranda, Talia, which would turn out to be Talia al Ghul.
That's right. That's right. No, Joe. I think that Aaron meant for sure Uma Thurman and which was that? Forever?
Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Where's that be? See, so okay, guys, that's good on comments. Let me bring us back in here to the recording portion, talking all things Batman with Lucky, the Dork Dad, from the DorkDad Podcast, as well as reading a little bit of comments if you're joining us here on the Facebook Live portion. We always invite you guys to come out on Friday nights if you're not busy and you want to do something, you know what I mean, and that's safe and socially distanced. You can watch us on live and always comment with us live and in real time. But if you don't, you can always listen to us later on pretty much any podcast platform you can think of. Lucky, where is the DorkDad Podcast at? Just to kind of start on that conversation.
As far as where you can find me?
Where we can listen to you. We're not ending the show or anything like that, but just saying because I know I look for you every time I look for us, and you're everywhere that we are.
Yeah, everywhere pretty much where you can find a podcast, except SoundCloud, I think.
No, yeah,
I think you gotta pay. Yeah, but yeah, everywhere, and you can just go to dorkdadpodcast.com.
Oh, okay.
Nice. It used to go to a website. I had a website up, but I took that down. I didn't have time to maintain it. So when you go to dorkdadpodcast.com, it goes straight to my page on Spotify.
Hey, Lucky, let me ask you a question. I'll ask you here on the live. It's a little bit off of our topic, but I had a friend of mine who's a big time TikToker. You might have heard us talk about him. He goes by Nene. He wanted to know how he could get his merchandise onto a website. Would that be something that Three-Legged Rabbit could help him with?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. He supplies his own merch.
It's really simple. It's really simple. I can walk him through it if he wants to.
Awesome, man. I'll definitely get you two guys in contact then or whatever. And again, I just threw up the website there for you guys, threeleggеdrabbit.com. Some really cool shirts. If you caught me and Lucky's test run last night, man, I was thinking about taking that down, but I might just leave it up to live on Facebook. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll even put it on our YouTube, but yeah, we did a little test run like this. And I was wearing my Chadwick Boseman, Rest in Power King shirt. Lucky, I want you to just re-mention on that where the proceeds for those shirts goes to.
Yeah, so yesterday we kind of talked about the site and the Rest in Power King shirt. So through podcasting, I've met a lot of people, a lot of artists, and a friend of mine, Seth Horton, who is now with Scout Comics. He does stuff for them. After the passing of Chadwick Boseman, he came to me and he said, "Hey, I want to make a shirt, or I want to design a shirt. Can you put it up on your site? And I want all the proceeds to go to St. Jude." And I was like,
"Oh, nice,
man! That's a great cause. That's really thoughtful for him. He didn't want anything out of it. He wanted everything to go to St. Jude. So
we donate to St. Jude's. Yeah.
So if you go to threeleggеdrabbit.com, that's the number 3leggеdrabbit.com. You can look for the Rest in Power King shirt. You have it in black and white.
Okay.
It's $15, and it's pretty good price for a t-shirt. And like I say, everything goes to St. Jude.
St. Jude. Nice.
Awesome, man. I just threw the website up again right there, guys. It's threeleggеdrabbit.com. And I ordered my shirt there. Really easy. Got it really fast. Wrapped up really nice. And it's a beautiful quality shirt. I love it's got the side badge too on the sleeve. It says Rest in Power King, and it has the years of Chadwick Boseman's life. And that's awesome, man. Steve, who was joining us on the online, I don't know if he's still here with us online, but he is always the first person to reach out to me whenever we did our blanket drive with our cousin Alexandria for her school around Christmas time after us. But when I did the toy drive, he was the first one to text me and say, "Hey man, where's that toy drive at? Let me know." And we didn't get to see him that day. Well, you might have seen him, Lucky, because you were out there on Sunday as well at Atomic Toys and More when you were.
I got there late, but I don't know.
Okay,
A lot of people went through that day.
Yeah, that's great. We had crappy weather on our day. That I was there with you for about 3 hours hanging out and just talking shop with you and Javi, which was so much fun, man. I never met him, and his shop is really cool. But yeah, you're the one that put that together with him to have a toy drive, for Toys for Tots and do that. You said normally you dress up like Santa.
Yeah, so I've done it in the past. Where I work, we used to do a lot of volunteering, not so much now, but
Right.
A few years back, I dressed up as Santa Claus for Elf Louise, which is an organization that collects toys and delivers to those less fortunate during the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
And last year it was lots of fun. I really enjoyed it, dressing it up as Santa, and having the kids, get all excited. Oh, he's here, and it's just a good feeling. I had all my family with me as the elves, and just doing that. And it's something I wanted my kids to see. Of course, my kids have it better than I did growing up, and I wanted them to see that side. I was one of those kids at one point, and
absolutely, man.
Make sure they appreciate the things that they do have. So, yeah, so we couldn't do that this year because of COVID, obviously. So I still wanted to do something, and it was a little late notice, maybe. But I got with Javi over there at Atomic Toys and More. I said, "Hey, what do you think about getting together? We do a toy drive, try to bring people into the shop that don't know about the shop." And it's a win-win situation for a good cause. And he was down, so we made it happen. I was trying to get people to show up. I wanted to make it a big thing, but then the weather, rained on us.
I know.
Unfortunate because it is a very small shop, but we made it work, and we got filled up two donation bins.
Cutting it on the video real quick. Anybody still watching out there can see us. Hopefully you can still hear us. Go ahead, Lucky, again.
Yeah, so like I said, we got together and we were able to fill up two big donation bins just in time to hand out. So it was great. Yeah,
it was great. It was a fun time, man. And I think that's great of you. I appreciate you doing that. And I know exactly what you mean as far as, reminding, like you said, reminding your kids, to be appreciative of the things they have. And that's kind of some of the things I want to tell my nephew too, is I tell him that, kind of the same thing as me and my sister, there was a time when we were in that boat, like things weren't always easy. And, sometimes, we would rely on those type of places, Elf Louise, Blue Santa, and those are great, great programs. And it didn't even occur to me, in the midst of, my own thoughts, that Christmas was going to be a lot different this year. So when you reached out to me about that, man, I was like, yeah, that's great, man. So I appreciate it. You doing that and putting that together. And Javi too, man. Shout out to Javi at Atomic Toys and More. You guys go check out his shop. It's a great, great shop.
I like doing stuff like that, doing giveaways and, helping other people out. So, if you know of anything, you need my help, let's make something happen.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do. And please, again, keep us in the loop for future stuff as well, because that's great. That's one of the things I can see you doing with, podcasting that is really awesome. And, getting out in the city and, just doing that kind of stuff, I think is fantastic. So yeah, man, appreciate it. Well, let's get back to our conversation a little bit more about Batman. During the break, Aaron was obsessed with Batman hooking up with someone with a nose, which we determined was Uma Thurman playing Poison Ivy in Batman and Robin, during which Double A said they couldn't have sex because she was poisoned. But Joe commented he would obviously have a bat condom. Typical Batman, thinking a way out of everything for Batman.
All right.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Not the shark repellent, but
not the shark repellent. Yeah. So one of the cool things I heard you talking about, Lucky, when I was listening to one of your episodes, 3 Geeks and a Mic, and I know I keep saying that. Talk a little bit about that real quick, because I don't know if that's now defunct or still going, because I know you were doing a couple of different things.
Yeah, like I said, I'm a sucker for helping people out, and
Yeah.
so I bought something on Mercari, on the selling app, right?
Sure.
And it said the guy was from Texas, and I just kind of messaged him. I was like, "Hey, well, where at in Texas?" And he's like, "San Antonio." And I was like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "You should check out my podcast." And he's like, "Well, I have a podcast." And I was like, "Oh, really?" I go look at it. He hadn't put any episodes out in over a year, and he was like, "Oh, there's this other friend of mine. He also had a podcast. Same thing. He hasn't put anything out in a very long time." And I said, "Well, hey, I have a podcast. You want to get on and just talk a little bit?" And so I had those 2 guys on. It's Leo and Ian. I can't remember their last names right now, but yeah. So they came on. We had a good time. We had a good chat. It was a good show. And Ian, one of them especially, liked it a lot. He was like, he got inspired, right? He's like, "Hey, we should do this again, and let's do something together." And I was like, "Sure, if you guys want to do something, let's go ahead and do it." And we did one other episode, or maybe 2 episodes of 3 Geeks and a Mic, we called it.
Yeah.
And then I tried to get back together with them. They're like, "Hey, you want to record?" And they're like, "Well, I'm busy doing that." And it's it's still the thing. If they want to get back together, it's fine. It's hard. Like, that's why I have long gaps sometimes. Like before this last episode, has been like 2 months since I put anything out, and it's just finding time. It is a hobby. None of us get paid for this, at least not yet. Hopefully. But
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
It's just one of those things. They both have families, and if they want to get back together and do another episode, I'll be down with that too. So
awesome, man. Awesome. Lucky, earlier when we started back on here with the audio version, I mentioned a friend of mine, Nene, who does a lot of TikToking as well. Dude, almost 500,000 followers, whatever, but he's the guy that was asking about the merchandise. He put in the comments right now, "Shout me out. You missed it, Nene. We already shouted you out." And Lucky said to reach out to him. He can help you with your shirts and getting them on a website, or maybe even his website. I'm not exactly sure how that works, but he's the man to talk to you right there. And you can find him right there on our screen, Nene at DorkDad Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. So however you guys want to choose to communicate. Yeah, he's also on Facebook.
Maybe he can. You're breaking up, but maybe he can help us get some followers on TikTok. That I'm still trying to figure that one out.
I often tell him that. Yeah. It usually involves me wearing booty shorts and doing some kind of twerk dance. But hey, it's all for the cause, right? So you do a steady amount of TikToking, man. You're pretty consistent on there. I'm not as consistent. In fact, I forgot to do it today for this. We were supposed to be doing them before the show. But
I hear the key is to put out at least 2 or 3 videos every day to start.
Yeah.
I don't know how those algorithms work, but
right.
That's why I'm trying to put it out there. But, TikTok's a totally different beast. Kids nowadays consider Facebook for old people. Instagram is the in thing, or was. It's more transitioning to TikTok now, but.
Yeah, man, I heard you in your last episode when you were talking with it's Christopher Castillo, correct?
Yes.
When he was talking about getting followers that were like liking stuff of kids or something like that. It was a weird situation, and he was saying how he contacted TikTok and that these men were commenting on these young girls' videos, and I was like, holy shit! Like, I mean, it was like a whole side of it I didn't even think of. I was listening to your episode, man, and I immediately went to my nephew's TikTok and started looking at his followers. It was mainly other little kids, but you know what I mean? You just don't know, but it totally freaked me the fuck out, because I was like, holy shit. We might have lost Lucky again there real quick, guys, on the feed. That means it's going to be time for some more comment reading. Double A, you want to take these comments?
Yeah. I think he's talking about Maggie Gyllenhaal. Rachel Dawes. Nene says, shout me out. Thanks for a shout out, and I will add him. So, way to go, Nene.
Awesome, Nene. Appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Yeah, definitely. He's gonna take care of you, man. He's good. His website is very good and organized. Oh, I think we might have got Lucky back. Let me see here. Lucky.
Man. Again, man, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, man, I was watching Kevin Smith the other day, right, on Fat Man Beyond. Do you listen to Fat Man Beyond?
I used to religiously. I haven't heard it in a while. But
I know. I try to be pretty religious too. Whatever, he's very consistent, but he's also wealthy and well known. So but he does make movies, and so sometimes he's not there, and so Mark Menardin does it by himself. But either way, the other day they had a guest on. It was them three, and Kev's internet of all people just kept going out, and he was like getting so frustrated, it just kept freezing up, and he was dropping out and having to get back in. And I was like, if that guy in the Hollywood Hills has bad internet, what more can we hope for, man? But yeah, man.
You're talking about Christopher's followers,
right?
When I first started looking at his live feeds, it was funny because he'd be looking at who joined in the live chat, and he'd look at him, and if it was a little kid, he'd be like, "Nope, get out of here, nope." And I thought it was funny. I thought he didn't like kids, but yeah. If you listen to the episode, it wasn't that at all. He tells a story about this girl that followed him, and he just looked at who was following her and didn't want to associate himself with that at all. So
yeah, man, it's easy to kind of go down that rabbit hole, and sometimes you like a video and you just like the video because maybe it's funny or whatever, but then it's like, if it happens to be of a female and it's like they're dancing or something, you're like, oh damn, how does this come across? I have little cousins that do the dances, and I like their videos because they're my cousins. You know what I mean? It's like they're trying to get like, I do like the video because they're my family members, but I'm like, damn, somebody that doesn't know might say, why is this guy over here liking these young girls' videos or whatever? You know what I mean? So, it was interesting because he switched aspects of, he went from talking about, this guy was saying, the artist Double A, that he was a Green Bay Packers fan. He met a guy in New York at Niagara Falls, and the guy started giving him shit because he was he a Bears fan? The other guy, and I'm not sure what he was. I know you're a Bears fan, Lucky.
Yeah,
but anyway,
he was a Bears fan.
Yeah, he said the conversation kind of degenerated, and that he ended up telling the guy, like, hey man, like, I don't know you, you don't know me, and we're meeting at the falls, and it's not a big deal, man. It's just football, it's just a game. And that the guy told him, it's not just a game, you know what I mean? And it's serious. And then he was like, nah, man, look, it's not, you know what I mean? It's like, I think you're a good person. And he went from this very like moment of peace to that when it came to being about the kids and stuff, he got a very different tone or whatever. And then went on to talk about, being in multiple fights and things like that. So I was just wrapping up the story, Lucky, about Chris and how he went from the Niagara Falls story to being very passive to being very unpassive with the TikTok stuff, you know what I mean? So, and talking about fighting people and stuff. But it was a really great interview, man. A great show and stuff like that. I know we lost you for a second, but we got you back, so we're good with that. But Lucky, man, anything else that you want to talk about or touch on before we get out of here?
No, we talked about Batman's rogue gallery. And I think the villains are what make the character. And I know before or when you were on my show, I talked about the Harley Quinn animated series.
Love that.
And, you hadn't seen it. I don't think you had seen it at the point.
And
I brought it up.
I want this.
That's just an awesome show. It's all villains in that show, and it's great.
No, totally, man. Harley Quinn, and how about that character? Born out of the animated series, takes on a life of her own. Now in what? I mean, I really wouldn't call Suicide Squad her movie, but I mean, really,
it's her movie.
It's her movie.
It's her movie.
And then you get Birds of Prey, which is like, you know what? Just give us the straight up Harley Quinn movie. Mm-hmm. I mean, that character is so, as they say in the wrestling business, over. Like she's over. People are Harley Quinn fans. They're getting tattoos of her. she's a great character, and I think that
cosplays at the Comic-Con.
Oh yeah,
are fucking crazy.
Yeah, and that character. And that's just from the movie part. I mean, but that character has been since the 90s a character that people super popular that love. And this new cartoon, this animated series that was on the DC streaming site before it went over, right? And Kaylee, I can't ever say her last name. Kaylee Kuko, yeah, she's the voice, and her and Ivy just have the comedy's so well written, the action is well done. It's just a great, funny animated series. I always hear how much of DC's animated stuff gets.
And just for those listeners, it's not for children, even though it's a cartoon.
No, definitely not. Yeah, I got my dad watching it, and he just thinks it's a riot. So, but yeah, man, for sure, guys, check out the Harley Quinn animated series for sure. But no, anything else, Lucky, that you want to maybe mention, talk about? I'm not rushing you off by any means.
No, like I said, it's been a while since I put out an episode, but I do got some folks lined up.
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited about one. We were supposed to record on Wednesday, but it didn't happen. But she did get back with me to try to do something next week. So, she's still down.
I want breaking news, man. I want a name drop. I was excited when I heard this at the end of your last show.
Coach, so it's another local, and it's kind of funny how it happened. We'll go full circle again with you guys. There was a news post on Facebook talking about a local chef that's going to be on Hell's Kitchen.
Oh, and okay. I heard about it.
And I kind of reposted that, and Mr. Aaron B, he said he commented on the post that I put up about it, and he said you should get her on your show. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I thought about it, and I messaged her, right? I said, hey, you want to be on the show? When I was looking her up on Instagram, she has a YouTube channel. I think it's called Geeks and Grubs. She's also a cosplayer, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, she's local, she's a chef, she's a nerd, and like this, it fits in with the podcast. So I was glad she said yes. Like I said, we still need to set the date and time to sit down, but that should be fun. And she is currently on Hell's Kitchen right now on Thursdays on Fox this current season.
Very nice.
I did not know
Chef Mary Lou. That's her name.
Okay, awesome, man. Yeah, I heard you mention at the end of your Chris episode, and I was like, well, who's he gonna get? Because I mean, man, you're landing all the bigs, and I had no idea that she was into geek culture. What the hell? That's awesome.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cool.
I haven't watched. I've only watched like 1 or 2 episodes, but like I said, a YouTube channel. I want to say it's called Geek.
Damn it.
We just lost Lucky again, guys. Hopefully we're going to get him back here. Let me read through a few comments, guys, before we wrap it up here. Let's see. We might be getting Lucky back. I think we got him back. Here we go. There he is. Geeks and what was it, Lucky?
Geeks and Grubs.
Grubs. Okay.
And like she was dressed up like the Avatar, I believe, and like she was doing some kind of air cake that she was calling it. But yeah, she kind of like dresses up like as a theme of what she's cooking, so it's kind of cool.
That is pretty badass. I gotta check that out.
I keep messing up your show, man. Cutting out.
No, man, you're totally right. Hey, that's the joys of live TV, man. I mean, we're here, and if we didn't know how to cover it, then we would be bad hosts. So, I normally blame myself for these kind of things. So. But yeah, man, no, don't even worry about it, dude. It's totally awesome. It's going to be great. Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that episode, man. You're landing the bigs there. Aaron's always telling us to reach out to everybody, and he wants us to be,
like I say, you never know who's going to say yeah,
Yeah, for sure. You definitely proved that, man. And we want to kind of get ourselves out there in that mix too and start doing some more interviews. Right now, we're in a little, I don't know if anybody's noticed, but we're in a little bit of like a 1 week just us and then a 1 week with an interview and then a 1 week just us and a 1 week. We're going to see if we can continue with that and for how long. So, yeah, man, I mean, I'm like, damn, you make me want to fish in your pool of guests, but cool, man. No, that's definitely awesome. I can't wait.
Another thing that's helped is, you start off podcasting as a fan, as a listener of other shows, and you start interacting with other shows, and that's how I met a lot of people, other people that do podcasts, and then you learn their contacts, right? You share. It's kind of you're networking, right, with other people, and so you get to know who they know, and interact with them. You want to be on my show, I'll be on your show, and things like that, and that's great, also.
Oh, totally, man. Yeah, totally. Hey, so I did want to ask you something else. You're a part of a podcast network. So what exactly does that mean, and how does that work? Is it like you got to get invited, or does it help your numbers? I mean, like, is it your network you created, or?
Well, they call themselves the Raw Live Unedited Podcasting Network. And basically, we all have our individual shows or feeds. You have your feed. I have my individual feed. But it's just another way of getting your show out there to other people that might not know about your show. Because there might be someone that listens to that network because there's a Star Wars podcast on there, Starlight Digest. So if they're connected to that feed, right, that's on that network, and your show pops up, that's just another way of getting your show out there.
Okay.
So I personally don't see those numbers.
Yeah.
But numbers, that's not why I do it, for the numbers, but
of course.
It's just another way of getting your show out there, getting people to know who you are. And we've done some fun things, there's, like I said, there's different shows that are on that feed, on that network. And I think I mentioned it before. I've done some game shows with them that I set up. We did a Family Feud style game where each of the different shows go up against each other in a Family Feud style game where I played the host. So that was a lot of fun. And then we did like a tournament. So whoever won got to face whoever won out of the last round. We also I set up a Jeopardy show. We did Jeopardy style questions, and that was a lot of fun too. But yeah, I just like doing it, meeting new people, doing stuff like this. Since I started, it's surprisingly how many local people that do podcasts, and
yeah,
it's great.
No, man, totally. It's in talking to you, and I'll kind of tell this story real quick, but when we started talking, you had reached out to me to, I think, follow us on Instagram. And I said, yeah, it was cool. We started to chat, and I didn't know that we had the mutual connection of Aaron. And so then once we, had that conversation, I think I said this on your show, but you said I was a fan of his show. And then I told you about how our mic and our first set of headphones were a gift from him to me. Yeah. And then when we decided to start this show, it was like literally his equipment that we were using. And then we ended up on your show, and it was like we all paths kind of led back to Aaron, which is cool. That's something that we always thank him for and appreciate from him. We bust his balls and we break balls here, but I mean, it's all love. And in all honesty, man, I mean, doing the Boozcast way back when, I remember one of the things that we would say on there, or I think that it was one of the things that was on the website or whatever. They had a website back then too, and it said something like San Antonio's only podcast, I think. And it was like, damn, yeah, so untrue now. Where there's like, I learned about from you is because I'm like, wow, there's another. You're like, today you just rambled off a bunch to me when we were talking earlier, and you were like, this show, this, and I was like, man, all those guys are here. Like, I didn't even have any idea. You know what I mean? I mean, I knew that we were going into a for lack of a better word, a kind of saturated market of A, podcast, and then B, pop culture podcasts, and geek culture, nerd culture podcasts. And I'm thinking to myself, why are you going to listen to us when you can listen to Kevin Smith or Nerdist or, any one of the other number of celebrities that has one. But, in meeting you and seeing that there's other guys doing it in town, man, I mean, it's inspiring and it keeps me wanting to go and keep doing it. You've been podcasting for how long now, Lucky?
I think since I very first started, probably 2 years.
Okay. I know I went back to your
and like I broke up.
Oh, okay. Give me a second here, real quick, and I'll see if we can. I'm gonna just stop our recording part, and then I'll keep us on the live though. But no, you were saying about 2 years. I know I went back in your Spotify episodes, and it goes back to like 2019, I think.
Yeah. So, well, I guess 3 years.
Yeah.
I don't remember those first few episodes were kind of rough because I didn't know what I was doing. But
hey man, I mean that's how we work.
For me, it's not about the numbers. Maybe we'll save this for when we get back on. But talk about how doing a podcast is almost therapeutic, right?
Yeah, definitely. No, save that because it's funny. I actually played the beginning part of your last episode when we were getting ready to record last week, and I was like, "Hey, I want you to hear this." I told Adam that when we were starting up. But I'll talk about that when we get back. Let me read through some of these comments right here. You might see some of our weirder comments in here right now, Lucky. So let's see. Nene says, "Shout me out." Already did. Joe is still trying to figure out with Aaron the nose. He says Katie Holmes. Nene says, y'all want to get together and get dangerous. Nene, always do I want to shout my show out in front of your 400,000 followers. So yes, let's get dangerous. He also says he would like to rub baby oil on one of our nipples. I will volunteer either of you for that. Lucky did famously give away his sack this Christmas, so we know that.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Joe says she's a heel, referring to Harley. Yes, Joe, definitely. She's a top heel. Nene says 3 guys, 1 podcast, and some winking faces, and then the wet squirting droplets there. I don't know what that means. I don't get it, Nene, on that one. But Joe
sweating.
Joe says the obscure characters on those shows are good. Definitely on Harley's show. Joe says it's always awesome when someone's from SA on a reality show. Definitely. And then Aaron says, glad y'all met up. Well, Aaron, we owe it all to you and the Boozecast, man. My first ever podcast that I was on. And I've been on another podcast. My good friend Marquise, his sister has a podcast called Single AF 101. And her podcast is all about relationships and stuff like that. She's a young African-American female, was living in San Antonio. I think she's in LA right now. She did some modeling as well. And the episode that I was on was called Guy Code. And we talked, she had her brother on, and then our other friend, Rob Harris. And we all talked pretty much like, she wanted to know, like, is there a guy code? Is there things that guys won't do, hooking up with someone else's girl? You know what I mean? And so we just kind of had that chat, which was interesting because I'd never been on that type of show. But yeah, she was doing great with that. So it's weird how from one show, the Boozecast, led to like other stuff kind of coming out and opening up. But let's get back into the conversation here. Give me a second here to get that all queued up. Sorry about all the breaks, Lucky. That's the one non-joy of Anchor. But yeah, man, we're back, and you were just about to say, talking about podcasting. You mentioned it at the beginning of your last episode, and that you don't do it for the numbers.
Yeah, I don't do it for the numbers. Like I said, my first few episodes are pretty rough. That's just me getting over my stage fright, and then trying to do solo shows at that. Like I said, if anybody knows me personally, I'm not a big talker. But doing this show has kind of helped me with that, get my emotions out, feelings out, just kind of rant sometimes, and it's therapeutic. It is, you say, it's a saturated market now with all these different podcasts out there, but like I said, it's if one person listens and they get something out of it, I'm happy with that. You know, it's more for me and doing what I like, or meeting people, talking to people, and you know, trying to help out wherever I can, and it's just that's why I do it.
Yeah, no, man, totally. You know, sometimes me and Double A sit around before a show and we talk about, you know, people that reach out to us and we say, man, I think sometimes people get the assumption that, you know, because you have something on somewhere, you know, on YouTube or here or, you know, whatever, that we've got like this mystical huge audience, you know what I mean? And I said, man, I mean, like, you know, I would say that we're as small potatoes can be, but again, it doesn't stop us from wanting to do it every Friday and kind of making that commitment, you know, to each other to say, hey, we're going to get together, we're going to do it. And I mean, it's something that we love doing anyway. We were having these conversations before we put on a set of headphones. Yeah. Now we just do it in front of a microphone. And it's great when we meet new people and they join in the conversation and we, you know, talk about Batman and bat condoms sometimes. And, you know, I mean, I feel like in some form or another, I was kind of chasing something like this for a while. You know what I mean? And then, you know, this happened or whatever. And so we say the same thing. We say, hey, man, if we ended up having just one person listening, you know, will we keep doing it? You know what I mean? Like, you know, hey, if ESPN came knocking tomorrow and said, hey, we're going to take you away to New York and have you being some type of broadcaster, would you still do this show? It's like, well, we're doing this show right now, being separate. I mean, I said, yeah, I would still do it because it's yours. I think that's the reason why so many celebrities have a podcast, is because when they're with the studio or whatever, they're under guidelines. But when they're on their show, they can say whatever they want and talk about whatever they want. You know, I love How Did This Get Made? I don't know if you ever heard that one, Lucky, from Paul Scheer. It's him and some of the guys from the league. And his wife, June Diane Raphael. It's him and his wife, and then the guy that plays Rafi or whatever in the league. But he's also on a voice on Big Mouth on Netflix. But anyway, their show is all about how did bad movies get made. And it is fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, it's one of the funniest podcasts I've ever heard. And they just take bad movies and break them down. You know what I mean? And, you know, I mean, they could do whatever they want. They've got money, but they choose to do it.
And I have all kinds of ideas for shows and whatnot that I try to pitch to the guys on that other network. I like talking about movies, and you know how we were talking about earlier that, you know, there's movies you haven't seen before.
Right.
I had an idea for a show. Called maybe Seen It, Not Seen It, where you have someone that has not seen this movie and someone that's real familiar with the movie, and they kind of talk about it. I thought that would be a cool thing. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But you know, I applaud you guys. You know,
hey, there they are.
For just sticking with it. The hardest part about podcasting is consistency. I think if you're consistent, you know, people will know when they can catch you, when the new episodes are coming out, and it's something to look forward to. Where, you know, me, I'm kind of sporadic, and you know, when they get put out, but I still have listeners, so yeah, that's fine as well. You know,
and you're chasing those big fish, man. I mean, Lilo Brancato. You know, now you're going to get this chef on, Chris, you know, great. I mean, kick-ass artist. A really cool part of his interview, Double A, was that the guy got offers from Marvel and DC to work and turned him down because he wanted to. He goes, I'm literally, and when he talked about the pay, I was shocked. He talked about what he was going to make for them, and versus what he made selling his single pieces, and he was like, I would have been giving up almost, like, I think something like $600-800 a week. He's like, I'm making off individual, and I was like, shit. I mean, he's right. You know what I mean? Like, that's you don't think about that. And when you work for them, and that's it. You know what I mean? I don't know if when you're in one of those kind of contracts, you're allowed to do commissions, but
artists have done it.
Yeah, I don't know, and it made you think of it as a different way, because you talked about how you know, that's something that people look forward to or dream of. You know, oh, I'm gonna work for DC or I'm gonna work for Marvel, and he didn't see it that way. In a way, you know, it's a way to bring people in cheap, like he talked about, because, you know, hey, don't you want to work for us? You know,
But
he was like, no, thank you.
really interesting. I thought that was like, oh wow. I mean, what a who knew? You know what I mean? Like, I know definitely didn't know
Yeah.
that. I mean, the guy's definitely got the skills, the chops to do it because his art is incredible. But no, for sure, man. I mean, we feel the same way, man. It's nice to have you on, have a fellow podcaster, and talk podcast stuff. I know we were talking Batman, and I told you I'd get sidetracked because I wanted to talk. I tell Adam all the time how much I like learn from you about the actual stuff, podcasting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, next time maybe we can get together and I can actually show you how I do it.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 different ways. I know you guys use Anchor. Anchor is probably one of the hottest things right now in podcasting because of how easy they make everything.
Right.
They do all the distribution where, when I first started, I actually had to go to all these different sites and actually submit my show to them, and it was a process of getting accepted and all that. But, Anchor does all that for you. So,
yeah. And that is,
so anybody that wants to do, so anybody that wants to make a podcast, like I said, if it's something you want to do, just do it. And, Anchor makes it that much easier.
No, totally, man. Except for like me, I know most people. I know like my buddy I mentioned, his sister that does a relationship podcast. She would record on GarageBand, record her whole episode, and then just upload it as one to Anchor. We have to do these 30-minute breaks because we're recording like directly to Anchor. And when we were doing our different format where we weren't live, it sounded more seamless because you don't have to let anybody know you're taking a break for it to kind of process up. But
right.
I didn't want it to catch us like in the middle of these conversations. This episode might sound like that anyway, because I missed some of the cues on there to get it over. So, that kind of happened in our episode with Mario Delgado as well, where I missed the 30-minute mark because we're just talking and talking and talking. And then, I'm like, shit, it cuts out. Then I got to get us back in. But hey man, like you said, it's all part of the process, right?
Yeah. It's
awesome,
it's
man.
It's a lot of fun.
Totally. Well, Lucky Man, unless there's anything else that you want to talk about.
I'm sure there is. I was going to write some stuff down to ask you guys, but it was kind of a long day of work. But
I hear you.
We can always do it again. Next time, I can go over there. Maybe you come over here. We can do something. I got more mics. We can set something up here. So.
Hopefully, man. I mean, like you said, you're going to be the one to kind of show us the way on that. You got the whole rig over there, but yeah, man. I mean, we got a really nice piece of equipment that we bought off you at a great deal. We appreciate that. I've still yet to unbox it totally and play with it, but that's my plan for the weekend because I got my personal laptop back. So totally, man. You might be getting some text from me about how do I get this to work.
All right. Like I said, I haven't worked with that particular machine, but we can make it work.
I'm sure you can figure it out. Well, Lucky, take a minute to plug yourself, man. Plug your show, your network, if you'd like. Anything else, let them know where you're at.
All right. Again, I'm Lucky, the Dork Dad. You can find me at DorkDad Podcast on pretty much everywhere: Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, wherever. Or you can just go to dorkdadpodcast.com if you just want a straight feed to the shows. So, and of course, 3leggedrabbit.com. It's the number 3leggedrabbit.com. You can find cool shirts like this and our Chadwick Boseman shirt. Podcast gear if you want a shirt with my face on it. You can find that stuff there. So, cool. That's it. That's me in a nutshell.
Very cool, man. Well, hey, we appreciate you coming on, man. I'm looking forward to future episodes. Always dig the chill vibe you bring, man. I love when you hit me up one-off about stuff you picked up or whatever, you know what I mean? And if you guys want to see mine and Lucky, our duet on TikTok, where we sing Folger's Coffee jingle, feel free. It needs some views. It needs some love. It's out there struggling.
I got to do some more of those.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I barely figured out that stitch, how that worked. So I got to get that there. I think we might have lost Lucky real quick, but I'm sure he'll jump back in here. Yeah, we did a TikTok of a jingle, and he's always doing funny stuff like that. He does a lot of the voice ones, and makes him work. So I always like to see his TikToks. So give him a follow. Let me read through a few comments, guys, before we say our farewells. Let's see. Where are we at there? You know where we're at? Double on the comments.
Right here.
Oh, okay, here we go. Let me go up some.
Talking about the podcast.
Oh, okay. Joe says it's been a lot of fun, especially in these times. He says, "How did this get made?" Is fucking funny. Yes, Joe, very funny. I'm trying to get Double A to listen to "How Did This Get Made." And then Joe says, "DorkDad is a good show. I started listening when y'all were on." Awesome, Joe. We appreciate it, man. So let's see. We got Lucky back here. There he is. And we just read through the last of the comments there. Lucky, Joe said he started giving you a listen when we were on. You've had many high-profile celebrities, but none like us here. You know what I mean? So we hope we didn't tank your ratings.
I didn't mean to. No, man. I didn't mean to jump out like that, even though we're closing it out. But I just wanted to get back on to say, I had a good time today, and we definitely need to do it again, either over there or over here, man.
Yeah, man, we'd love that. We would love that for sure. Yeah. We got to put something together and get all that worked out. And you know what I mean? If you can figure out mastermind something with those other shows, hey, we're down to be a part of it. We're down to throw our name in the hat, throw the gauntlet down and step in one of those challenges with the rest of them. Oh, it popped out again there. I'm sure we'll get Lucky back here in a second. Guys, I think that was it on the comments. We're going to probably get ready to close her on out here. But do go find Lucky at DorkDad Podcast on Instagram, Twitter. He's on Facebook. And again, he said he has his website. Let me switch back to the website. How are you guys liking this new system that we're using here where I can kind of pop stuff in? That's pretty cool, right? Check it out. See that? And then I can remind you where we're at right there. See, that's pretty cool. So let's see. Oh, I think we got Lucky back here.
Okay,
there we go.
Before I leave, you started talking about it, and I wanted to ask you on this show.
Yeah.
What do you think if I do maybe a Family Feud or Jeopardy style game? Maybe you can get some of your listeners into play, and we can maybe set that up. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, man, we're all for it, man. Sometimes we get these, people that think they know more than us. And in my case, they're usually right. If they want to go head-to-head with Double A, hey, good luck. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think a Jeopardy style game would be pretty cool.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll start working on something, and like I said, maybe we can get some of your listeners to come in and be part of it. It'll be a lot of fun.
Totally, man. Yeah, let me know, and we'll talk about it offline and get it going, man. The mastermind there, the man with the two-pronged beard. So usually, again, Double A's usually got the best beard on the show when it's just me and him. But tonight, I got to give it to you, Lucky, on that.
All right, thanks a lot.
Hey, man, guys, go check out the DorkDad Podcast. Lucky, thank you so much for being on, brother.
Yes, sir. Until next time. We'll see you later.
Man. Peace out. Have a good night.
Peace out.
Guys, that was Lucky from the DorkDad Podcast. We appreciate him coming on, being on the show tonight. I think we're going to go ahead and get her done here, get her closed out. Reading the last of the comments like we like to do. Aaron says this episode was really good. Aaron, thank you so much for saying so, man. We want to wish you success in your Airbnb business with your home. If you feel like posting any links or anything like that, guys, if you're not from the San Antonio area and you want to stay here in San Antonio near SeaWorld or Lackland Air Force Base and you want to rent an Airbnb, check out Aaron B's listing there. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. And maybe you just want to get away from your kids or other family for a while and say you're going out of town and just go rent this place and stay there and live in a really nice place for a time. It's fantastic. And they got a community pool and all that good stuff. So maybe a summertime thing. Double A, anything you want to get in before we get out?
Oh yeah, just real quick.
Yeah,
I picked up some new comics. I kind of wanted to showcase this one. It's 100 Bullets from Brian Azzarello and Eduardo Rizzo. What's interesting about this one, if you are into conspiracy theories, specifically the Marilyn Monroe suicide, check this one out. It's issue 27, and they never say their names, but this is Joe DiMaggio. It's again, they never say the names. It's Joe DiMaggio, Marilyn Monroe, and they mentioned President John F. Kennedy being the murderer of Marilyn Monroe.
Wow, interesting.
So this was a pretty cool one issue. Very affordable, very easy to find. 100 Bullets, issue 27.
It's an older issue, right?
It's an older issue.
Yeah. Okay.
This finish ready is not running anymore, but Brian Azzarello is one of the best comic book writers you'll find. And check this one out. Issue 27 of 100 Bullets. And the new Maestro series is out.
Ooh, is that the last one?
No, it's a new one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
War and Pax.
Oh, so he's got a new series.
Yes.
Did the other one finish?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And then from the Black Label, Batman Catwoman issue 2 with this nice cover by Jim Lee. The Mask of the Phantasm comes back, and Andrea Beaumont. So really cool, really cool story with a very old Joker in this one.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
is this a Black Label?
Yes, it is a Black Label.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's becoming their hot
with Batman
card,
again.
especially with Batman again. So
yeah.
Guys, or anything else?
That's it.
We get okay. Cool. Guys, we want to thank everyone for joining us tonight here on the Just Another Friday Night podcast. It was in fact just another Friday night. We appreciate you sitting through some of our technical difficulties. No one to blame for that. Just the way it goes. This is our first time ever doing a guest distanced, so it's cool. But it opens up the door to us having maybe people that are in other states and other places. We've talked about this, me and Double A. There's a couple people we want to reach out to, wrestlers, things like that obviously aren't going to come here and be in the studio. So, you know what I mean? Now that we know we have the ability to do it, we want to do it. So we hope you'll go check out the DorkDad Podcast. It's a really great podcast. Lucky's a really chill guy. He's a really chill host. His show's fun. It's informative. I didn't get to it. I wanted to mention it to him, but they mentioned a new Batman game coming out. I think it's going to be called Gotham Knights, which had a cool premise, which I heard all about it on his show. But you can look that up. And then take a look at his website for his brand at threeleggеdrabbit.com again, because they got some really cool shirts on there, whatever. And, of course, the Chadwick Boseman shirts, the money goes to all benefit St. Jude's. So that's awesome. And if you didn't know, now I can throw it up here and remind you guys that we are at JAFN Podcast. The JAFN is for Just Another Friday Night on – this is our Twitter. It's our TikTok. It's our Instagram. It's our Twitch. It's everything except our Facebook, which is facebook.com/Just Another Friday Night, I believe. Or it may be facebook.com/
just type in Just Another Friday Night.
Just you find it.
Facebook.
Look for the red microphone logo.
Yeah.
So, good show.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yes.
Guys, as always, I like to say and remind everyone of. Oh wait, let me see. They got a few comments here. Sorry. Aaron says, Joe says, good show, boys. Cheers, everyone. Thank you, Joe. Aaron says, I'll give you the link later for the Airbnb.
Cool.
This is very cool. And Joe says, fucking Jim Lee is the best.
He is the best.
We got to meet him, so that was pretty cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, but guys, before we get going, there's one thing I like to always say that comes from both of us. We talked with Lucky, who's been doing the podcast for 2 going on 3 years now. And like you said, if you want to do something, do it. You want to make a podcast, you know what I mean? Whatever your reasons are, if you want to do it to become, rich and famous, give it a try. Maybe it'll work for you. You don't know till you try. Or if you want to just do it so you can have just one listener and a friend that's a fan and talk about things that you're like-minded with. You don't know how many times we meet people or I meet people that say, I'm into this, but I don't have anyone to talk about it with. I literally see people on Twitter that say, I don't have any anime friends. And I'm like, damn, I want them to hook up with some of my friends that are anime friends, because I'm not the biggest anime guy, but I know people that are. So these people should be talking, you know what I mean? So, but if you want to do something, get out there and do it. Seize the day. Today is the day that you make that happen. And the other thing that we like to say is that when you want to do that, it may involve you joining a Facebook group or doing something that you're not entirely comfortable with, getting on a microphone and talking in front of people, or trying to do a virtual interview for the first time ever. You got to do whatever it takes, guys. I was literally running tests last night. You saw me run a Facebook Live for about 17 minutes that I deleted that went nowhere, except me struggling, literally watching Facebook, YouTube videos last night on how to get it done, and then finding this StreamYard app, which they throw their logo up here on there with us, but that's fine with us. And you know what I mean? You got to do whatever it takes to get it done. And I think we did, you know what I mean? You know, can always go more smooth, but hey, you know what I mean? It's life and it's live. So that's what happened. But yeah, seize the day, guys. Do whatever it takes. I'm CM Chuck.
I'm Double A.
This has been just another Friday night, guys. Have a good night. Have a drink. And cheers.